What's up, my fellow Chibits? Today I'm here to bring you a anime review on Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. So, I just want to talk about something real quick. I decided to go on to Mal yesterday, and I started just looking at different reactions to what people have been thinking, or visual novel players have been thinking about Fate recently, because I've been noticing in the past couple of reviews I have done, there's visual novel players that have been having a lot of issues with the recent episodes of Fate. And so I decided to go to my anime list, because at one time or point when I went on there to rate Fate Stay Night, I encountered fans of the visual novel, and they were talking about, the first season. So I decided to go on to the Season 2's forums just to see what people think, and I see a lot of visual novel players, original fans of the series, kind of pissed off with this. Now, I am an anime only. I have no idea, but I want to address this before I really get into the big review, because I notice a lot of comments are starting to focus around that visual novel players are starting to say that. They're saying that Ufotable is rushing things. Now, I can understand the plight of the visual novel players, because I personally have my issues when it comes to rushing and pacing. I understand that plight, and I can understand the situation avid fans of a series feel about stuff like that. Like, for instance, when Taizai was rushed, I was really upset about that. And so, I'm not going to say that it's not justified for visual novel players to be upset, but I, as an anime only, don't really know. So I decided to look for everything, look for the comments in the past couple of reviews and stuff I haven't actually got to read yet, and I found out that Dean is, or not Dean, whoa, Dean. I was told that Ufotable is kind of making it to where Shiro, Emiya, kind of turning him into like a standard generic shonen character in this anime series, and I can agree and disagree to that, because from the way Season 1 and Season 2 has been done, I already see that there's something else going on here behind the scenes. Like, it looks like, Shiro has post-traumatic stress disorder after you see what he's went through in his past, and beginning to see a glimpse into Archer in this episode, a little bit of his background. You got to see what he's went through and what really distorted Archer. And oh yes, that also plays a huge role right here. In this episode, it's pretty much officially confirmed, like there's no beating around the bush. It's officially kind of confirmed that Archer is Shiro. It's fucking obvious, like seriously. That is so obvious. It's literally being handed to us. Like, there you go. Like, it went so 360 around Shiro as Archer without saying it was Shiro and Archer that I felt like I was just being spoon-fed the information in that scene. And I'm like, it's obvious. It's fucking obvious. They didn't even need to say. They didn't even need to say nothing. So, anyways, getting back on topic before I really dive into this episode's review, I just wanted to address the Shiro thing, along with how a lot of fans of this series are saying that it's kind of rushed when it came to Unlimited Blade Works. Like that, I saw a couple of fans of the visual novel say that this episode was rushed in certain aspects, and personally, I can actually slightly agree to that for certain reasons. Because when I was watching this episode on Crunchyroll, I saw, Shiro, he was doing his projection, where he was using his magic, he's making swords, and he was rushing after Archer. And Archer, he had this projection line, like, kind of like Gilgamesh, and they were about to fight. And then you see Unlimited Blade Works and all sorts of shit like that, and they're about to go at it. And then all of a sudden, right after that, as soon as he starts charging, like, the fight's fucking done. And Shiro is unconscious. He wakes up, he's like, what the fuck happened, bro? So I don't know if that was Crunchyroll fucking up, so that's one of the reasons why I'm actually on Mal right now, just to see if others feel like I do, like, like, am I the only one that saw how quick that scene was? Like, it felt so awkward. Like, usually I don't notice something like that, but the scene when it came to the Unlimited Blade Works, when that was finally revealed, the title drop, by the way, and you see how Shiro's charging after Archer, that scene felt so fucking fast. It felt so fucking fast, like it just cuts off, like, right in the middle of it, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like, it cuts off in the middle, like, okay, so it could be Crunchyroll, it could be the stream on Crunchyroll that I saw, maybe, but I hope that's what it is, because if not, There's something missing in between that. We should have saw something in between that. So this leads into another argument I want to talk about. It's already been confirmed by Fotable Studios that they are officially adding in minutes into the series when it does get its BD DVD. And that's what I want to actually address. As we know, Fotable usually adds in some form of fixes, or anime studios in general usually add in fixes to the series. They fix up animation, background, stuff like that. Well, Fotable is going to be adding new footage. They've already announced, like, episode 14 was going to have new footage. Episode 14 and 15 was going to have new footage, and from judging the way this episode is done, you can assume the way that little segment right there with Shiro just going from charging Archer with his fucking swords to all of a sudden just being unconscious, that is probably going to be added scenes, probably for the BD. Now, like I said, it could be the stream that fucked that up, but I don't know. I don't know. But the main point I want to get into, though, is hopefully the BD will address some of the issues I have noticed that visual novel players are having. Because I noticed a lot of visual novel players were saying that the characters are lacking depth, dialogue, you know, inner thoughts, inner monologues, and I can understand that plight, I understand that, but right now, at the moment, let's just wait. Let's just wait until it's over. And then we could really give our true viewpoint on this anime adaptation. That's personally what I think we should do. I understand both sides have their own rights. Anime-onlys have the rights to bitch. Visual novel players have their own rights to bitch. Both sides have the rights to express their opinion. I understand that. But I feel like we should probably hold back to see how the ending of this is done, if we can truly see if this was a good adaptation or a bad adaptation. That's what I think we should do. So we should hold our cards back. But that still doesn't stop from complaining or pointing out issues. I understand that too. You should still point out issues, but I think both sides should kind of, you know, try to figure it out until the series is done, and then we could finally see the true viewpoint on Unlimited Blade Works anime adaptation. So, moving past that, now let's get into the beef of this episode, now that I addressed that, because that's something I really wanted to talk about, because I've been noticing it for the past couple of reviews now, that there's just so many Chibits saying that. So, okay, with this episode of Unlimited Blade Works, you have it to where Archer is kind of dived into. Now, say what you will, I liked the background of Archer, and this has been foreshadowed and slowly built up and hinted at through majority of Season 1 and Season 2 of Unlimited Blade Works. You've constantly seen this build up and slight hints at Archer's backstory, and when you finally get to understand kind of what happened, what twisted Archer and his ideals since the very beginning, as we come to find out through Season 1, Archer was very twisted. Like, he was kind of the exact opposite of Shiro. He was the exact opposite. And you question, like, this is really weird. Like, what twisted him in this way to be like that? And then come to find out with the official confirmation kind of in this episode that Archer is Shiro, you could assume that something happened to twist him in that way. So what did? Come to find out that Archer, or Shiro, in his life, he was weak, useless, and his entire life he focused on wanting to become a hero. And this is what I interpreted as an anime only. He spent his entire life traveling, you know, just fighting for people and doing anything to save people, and kind of sacrificing his own happiness for others' happiness. And this has been talked about through Ren. Ren has mentioned this once before in Season 1 and Season 2, if I'm correct. Now, with this, you can actually pull out that he sacrificed everything just to become a hero and make everybody else happy. And when he became a guardian, a counter-guardian, and he became a heroic spirit, he continuously went back to the past, the present, the future. Fought over and over again to save people. He thought this was his answer to save people. He became a heroic spirit to save people, but in this act, he constantly had to kill, be killed, betrayed, and this twisted his ideals of what he truly thought with humanity, what he thought of when it came to humanity. And that's kind of why he started looking back at his ideals and realizing how fucked up his ideals were, why he didn't like his ideals, and why he twisted into what he was. And then you can also understand, when it came to this now, why Archer's so desperate to kill Shiro. Because, I mean, let's think about this. If you were in Archer's situation, and you let's say you were in Archer's shoes at this moment, and you were forced into this Battle of Holy Grail war, and you see your younger self. Like, you see your younger self before he became you, before he set down this path that is fucked up and twisted, and before you really saw the truth about the world. If you saw your younger self, you would have conflicting emotions. You would either A, take pity on yourself, take pity on your younger self, or you'll be very angry, or you'll be very upset with how you have changed, or you could take a route that Archer wants to do, and he wants to stop that forever happening to his younger self. So, for instance, it's like he's wanting to save his younger self, Shiro, our main character of the series, from that pain and suffering that Archer himself, that is Shiro, has went through. It's like he wants to save himself. So yeah, that right there, very interesting. Very interesting how he's kind of doing it like that. But there's some other dialogue also that's been done in this episode that I was trying to really grasp the full meaning of. Now, thankfully, thank God, as I've said a couple times already, I watched Kara no Kyokai. I would be kind of lost with some of the dialogue that was done in this episode, or, you know, in this series already. When you had to where Archer mentioned that it's not Saber's time, like, she will be saved in the near future or whatever. Like, you know, Archer's talking about something like that, and I'm like, what the fuck? So, I'm guessing whoever Archer works for needs to save Saber in the future for some reason. But Archer says that this world will be very brutal to you, kind of kill you if you continue down this path. So, see, I'm an anime only, so I don't understand the full grasp of that, so I don't know if we're going to have to wait until we get some answers to that. But that right there, a lot of interesting plot points popped up with Saber supposedly going to be saved in the future. And we have gotten some development with Saber and Fate Zero. Now, I know, you shouldn't watch Fate Zero before Fate Stay Night. I understand that plight. But still, after knowing some of the development with Saber and her backstory of seeing it in Fate Zero and then seeing it in this, along with how, you know, Saber was done, especially with how she kind of lost everything or whatever, and then, you know, Archer brought it up in this episode, it makes you wonder, is that what she's going to be saved from? Is that what Archer meant, you will be saved? A lot of questions about that. Anyways, also, you gotta like that little banter between Gil and Archer in this episode. Like, that one scene when Shinji comes in and he's like, oh, Totsuka, Rin! And he looks like he wants to rape Rin. And that's what the look Shinji was giving her. And I wouldn't put it past it, that's exactly probably what he wanted to do. That's what he was doing. Like, he wanted to do anything he wanted to her. And I'm thinking like, Gil, kill him, Gil, kill him. Like, seriously, Shinji, a small, like, little ounce of pity for Shinji. I felt slightly sad for him because of what Gil was doing to him and what he's gonna probably have coming to him thanks to Gil. For instance, you know, putting his hand on Gil's shoulder, or, you know, trying to boss Gil around. I slightly took pity, very little, on Shinji. But after this episode and just seeing shit like that, I'm thinking like, I want you to die, Shinji. I want you to fucking die. I want you to die. Just fucking die. Gil, just do it. Or Archer, fucking do it. Shit. Can't wait. I cannot wait to see that. I know for a fact that's gonna happen. Shinji's gonna have some major death probably coming to him. I sense it. I fucking sense it. And you know what? If he survives, oh, I'll be pissed. If he survives to the end of this series, I'll be really pissed. But after, you know, just everything he's kind of done in this series. So yeah, I mean, getting back onto the topic with Gil and Archer. Archer was holding his ground. He was kind of protecting Ren. Shinji being a little prick and trying to order around Gil, and then all of a sudden you had to where he walks past Gil, like Archer walks past Gil, and then Gil's like, faker. I'm like, bro! Gil calling out Archer, dude. That shit was so fucking hilarious. Gil calling out Archer. Damn. So that was one of the highlights of this episode. Like, that right there was very good. I did not expect to see Gil say, like, faker. Damn. Now, one thing I have to mention, the unlimited blade work scene. Not talking about the rush pacing or anything, but I do want to talk about that scene in particular. When it came to the animation, or should I specifically say the CGI that was used, the ground, or how it kind of looked. It looked very weird. Now, don't get me wrong. It looks fucking beautiful for CGI, especially to standards of anime. Like, if I compared to any anime in recent memory, the CGI, this unlimited blade work scene we saw in this episode, is leaps and bounds above a lot of CGI I have seen. Like, there's no comparison. There's no competition between the CGI and unlimited blade works and other anime I have seen. But, in terms of the standards that Ufotable has shown us through majority or throughout their series they constantly adapt, that unlimited blade work scene with the CGI when it came to the ground, not the sky, not the backgrounds, I'm talking about like the ground, like the actual ground when it starts moving, it did not look that good. It looked good, if you get what I'm saying, but it didn't look to standards of Fate. That's what I'm getting at. So, I know there will probably be some that might complain about that, or might not even notice it, because, I mean, damn, it still looks fucking good. It looks really good, but, yeah, I mean, so, yeah. I just wanted to mention that. That's the only flaw I think I've ever seen when it came to the animation of Fate. Like, Unlimited Blade Works. Like, the major issue flaw that I noticed instantly. Now, the ending sequence of this episode, Lancer is helping out Rin. Or, not helping out Rin, he's wanting to save Rin, and he's going to be working with Saber and Shiro. And I was quite shocked about that. So, Lancer is becoming a bro, man. He is becoming a bro. You know, as I've already said, he's gonna fucking die, man. I know for a fact he's gonna fucking die. Because I know he's not gonna have a good end. There can only be one servant that can survive. We know this. And I know my bro Lancer is gonna fucking die, dude. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see it. I hope he lives. I so fucking hope he lives. I want him to live. I do so much, man, because that bromance, or just him being a bro, Lancer is quickly moving up to one of my favorites of this, you know, adaptation of Unlimited Blade Works. Lancer, man, he's got the epic freaking character design, he's got a great voice actor, and then being like a tank in the fucking opening song. And then on top of that, you know, what last week's episode was with, you know, or 2 episodes ago, what he was doing with Rin and Emiya, and then also in this episode wanting to help out, that, oh my, I just, you can't get enough of the bro of Lancer. He's such a bro. He is. I love that. Oh yeah, also, something else that was mentioned in this episode, we kind of find out that the Archer class can be independent. Now, I know this isn't a new thing, because I've heard throughout when I was watching the beginning of Unlimited Blade Works, and I also heard when I was watching Fate Zero for the first time, that each individual servant class has their own specialties. For instance, you know how Berserker class, you know, how they are, you know, Saber class and stuff like that. Well, the Archer class, from what we come to find out, can be independent from their master. Like, if their master was to, let's say, die, they could be fine for a couple of days. This explains a lot, actually, when it comes to Gil. It explains a lot. It really does. Now I understand, not gonna get into spoilers, but now I understand with Gil. Now I understand. Oh, shit. So, that little bit of a interesting plot twist right there, how servants or Archer class has that type of ability, definitely shed some light on certain things we have seen throughout Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night. And so Archer can kind of support herself for a little bit. Damn. So that's about it. I think I've covered everything I want to cover when it came to this episode of Fate. It was a damn good episode, don't get me wrong. Even though it had its issues, and everything has its issues, I just hope that visual novel players and anime onlys can get along. I really do. I really do. Because let's just be honest here. We're here for the entertainment, aren't we? Aren't we here for the entertainment? Aren't we? But I know how it is. If, you know, something's not adapted, I do know. I can't put anyone down for that. So, anyways, you all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.